Hello people, today's story is about a little pet dog whose name was Rudy. Well, the important thing about this story is that it's not all fiction, it's a real life story. It's about this pup who belonged to my mother. Okay, let's start and tell you the details. One early morning when my mom was leaving home for her institution where she was doing her arts course, she was a bit late, so she was in a hurry, and was taking fast step towards the bus stand. And well, she reached it, but she was a bit late, so she has to wait for 5 minutes for the next bus to come. He was standing there, uh, quite worried that maybe he will not get late for her class, and very soon, like within 10 to 15 minutes, the next bus arrived. The bus came and he stepped into it and climbed the two steps. He sat just by the window seat. When, after a 2 minutes journey, he heard a strange sound that was coming from behind, and the sound was of murmuring, a poor sound. And he was a bit scared as well. He thought that there must be some animal around, so she looked and he could not find anything. So she started looking down towards her feet. Maybe the sound was coming from that side, and there she was surprised and kind of shocked to see that there was some little fluffy white fur with a wagging tail, and she was quite astonished and to know that it was nothing else but a real pup and her own pet pup that has come along with her to the bus. And he was actually astonished because that was very little to of his small feet, and how it climbed the bus steps and reached and followed her. uh, that was anyway was not the end of the journey. On the whole way, the little pet was moving around in the bus, and people were, few of them were like quite scared that maybe this did not bit them, or maybe not scratch with his paws. Well, looking at all this, mother was a bit ashamed to tell anyone that the pup belonged to her, because maybe people would say how you have brought your own pet and left like that, moving in the passenger bus. Anyway, this journey ended after 20 minutes. He got up and he wanted to take a look at the pup. Maybe she could have picked him up, or has to take her uh, pet with her, but he couldn't see it there. Maybe the pup had jumped off the bus before her. Well, anyway, he got off the bus and he was taking fast steps towards the main road, and he crossed the road. And while she was crossing the road, she heard a huge woof sound, and that was a surprise that it was coming from a little pup. And the pup was following her, it was behind her. And the wolf was just for the reason that the little pup wanted to save her, because the traffic was coming very fast across the road, and he had to cross the two roads to reach the institute building. Well, he stopped suddenly because of the wolf van. Uh, then she turned around and saw that a fast car moved very quickly before her eyes and crossed the road. He was quite happy to find that how the dog was trying to save her from any problem. Anyway, then when he crossed the road, he was continuously moving around her feet and walking with her very fast. When he reached her institute class, she turned around and see where the pet was, because he was worried she had to take care of the pet, as well as because the pet was not allowed in the institute, but somehow it hid itself somewhere and he was unable to check on him. Well, at last, when the class started, he entered the room and was sitting on her desk bench when again she saw the little wagging tail coming under her feet with a soft purr and murmuring sound. Rather than leaving her bag on the desk, he fastly moved and walked out of the class. So the doggy follow her and take the steps out of the class. So this happened, and then he had to pick him up, and he took her to the nearby washroom. He had to lock the little Rudy in the washroom because otherwise he had to leave the institution or had to miss out the lecture class. So let's tell you the whole details. The rest of the tale was like that. He took her first and second period and the third, so in this way 2 hours went off by, and the little pup was quiet and was not making even a sound or disturbing her in any way. Well, at the end, she rushed to the washroom because she was worried where the pup was, maybe hungry or thirsty. But as she reached the door, she heard a little scratch sound, and the pup was scratching the door, telling her that he is inside. Well, she took him out and picked him up and took along. When she was leaving her institution, but on the way towards the road, she had a thought maybe again there won't be any mess or any disturbance in the bus because the people were scared of the strange little doggy in their bus. Well, anyhow, uh, she just climbed the bus, and the little pup itself jumped up the stairs and followed her. Well, this time Puff was alert that he must not disturb her or bother her in any way. He quietly rolled himself around and wagging his tail, started to slightly slip below the bus seat in her feet and sat quietly. Well, this was not the end yet. While on the way, someone noticed that there was little white fur between my arm's feet that was moving slowly, and people were asking, "What is this? See, something is below your feet." And he said, "Oh, don't please mention what it is." But she gave the details to that person that it was a little incident in a way that the pup has followed her on its own. Well, finally, he reached the bus stop in front of her home, and she got off, looking behind when maybe the pup again bother her or make sound or maybe disturb the people in the bus. But it never happened. The pup got up slowly and walked along with her to home. Well, anyhow, this story ended not in this way. When she reached home, everyone was so much surprised and they were so much worried that why and how the pup has followed her and why this all happened. Well, anyhow, when she gave all the details to everyone that in every way the little pup was trying to protect her and was always on the front line to save her from any problems or any mishaps. Well, this story ends here. It's like a sweet story, but what actually it tells us is that the animals have a sense that they have to protect you. They are loyal, and they can even, I think, what mom felt and what I have learned from this story, that if you take care of even animals and be kind to them, be truthful, and mm, you try to not to teach them anything wrong, like you take care of them, they sense your problems, they can feel how you are feeling, and well, in today's time when people are uh, all in a way are feeling so insecure and mm, quite problematic in an environment where everyone is going so fast, the world is moving so fast. This little pup gave us a lesson that no matter what, never leave your loyalty, never uh, be unkind, always be caring and good to people who have done good to you, or not only people but all the situations that had been uh, shown God had been kind to you. You should be thankful to God for each and everything He has done for you. Just remain positive, loving, caring, and kind, and the goodness will return to you.